Are you aware of the fact that you're usually probably giving away more than half of your power? Are you aware of the fact that unknowingly to you, you're most likely not using a lot of your potential, and you're putting yourself in a position of not having the power to influence things in your life? Now, I'm not talking about some universal cosmic energy here, even though I deal with Chinese metaphysics. I do acupuncture, I do feng shui, I do Chinese astrology. All these things are connected with the idea that there is an energy system, that there is cosmic energy flowing and influencing our lives. But today, I have a very pragmatic topic for you guys. I've just had 2 patients, and they came with very similar stories, and even though I wanted to film something different for you guys today, their stories struck me as, things that are so easy to do, and I'm going to share these with you, and yet we don't do them because we don't see them first. So let me tell you the story about my first patient. She's a woman in her 30s, and she's, I'm going to call her Amy, right? Not her real name, but I'm going to call her Amy. So she's in this relationship with her partner, and she feels like she doesn't get enough attention and time spent and resources and emotional availability generally from him. So she's kept complaining to him about the fact that she would want more. She needs to receive more. And she is quite upset. She was quite upset about the fact that she doesn't receive these things from him, and that he is, focusing much more on his problems, and he feels guilty about not being able to provide her with these. But nevertheless, it doesn't happen, right? And she feels very. It's like that feeling where you've never been truly accustomed by life to receive, and then you attract all these situations, all these dynamics in which you're still not receiving, you're still not getting the things that you want. It's a kind of a beggar emotional mindset, right? It's like, I don't have enough, and I tend to attract situations in which I don't get enough, right? And I was talking to her, and I told her, do you realize that you're putting yourself in a position of giving away your power? And as I'm going to tell you her story and the story of the second patient of mine, I want you to think about how you handle life and how you might have handled in various moments in time situations like these, and maybe realize that you can address things a little bit differently. So what I told Amy was, hey, your requests, your desires, your wishes are perfectly reasonable. I mean, who wouldn't want to have this situation in which the partner that they have comes towards them with love and care and affection and time and emotional availability? Of course you want them. Of course you deserve to have them. But how is your approach, right? What do you do? You're asking for them, and you're not getting them, and you're getting upset, and you're getting frustrated, and you're getting depressed, and you keep asking for them. And if you step back, look at this from the following perspective. This is a kind of a passive role, right? You've made your wish clear, you've communicated your wish, but right now you're waiting, right? You've put yourself in a kind of a waiting posture, and hoping that at some point he will come towards you, right? You've given him all your power. What is a better approach? Maintain your power. Keep your power to yourself. Because what happens, and I'm gonna, this is something that I didn't tell her, but I'm telling you guys. People react to us, especially in emotional circumstances, by a kind of a subconscious communication, right? And the importance, the weight that they give to our requests is very much dependent on how we communicate subconsciously. And what do I mean by that? We don't receive in life what we deserve. We receive in life what we think we deserve. We receive in life what we think we are worth. And that is a very limiting factor, because objectively, we might be in the most obvious circumstances in which what we're asking is obviously adequate, and we should have gotten that a long time ago, and maybe we've gotten 10% of what we should have gotten, right? And it's rationally, it's obvious, right? But if subconsciously we don't actually think we deserve to get it, we will find a way to communicate that to other people around. And other people around, although again, consciously, rationally, they will say, yes, you're right, you should be getting that, I should be giving you this. When it comes to action, it simply won't happen. They simply won't do it. And why? Because they felt that subconsciously you communicate through some way that you don't feel that you deserve more, and they will align themselves with the fact that you're not really asking, right? Because if subconsciously you actually say, well, I'm asking, but I don't actually expect to receive that, they'll say, okay, yeah, I hear that you're, saying some words there, but there's no substance behind them. And this, what it does, it manifests subconsciously in these kinds of dynamics in which we give our power away. We ask, but without any real expectation to receive. Or even if we did, if we truly did expect to receive, we would formulate things differently. And the difference is that, and I'm going to show it to you in a moment, how that would sound. That difference would actually communicate in a very, very clear way that we retain the power, and that we feel we deserve to retain the power, and we will not allow ourselves to be trampled upon. So, what did I teach Amy? How should she talk with her boyfriend? In the following way. Look, I know that you have a lot of stuff on your mind. I get that you are working and there's a lot of emotional turmoil coming up. There's a lot of stuff that is maybe on your mind. But hey, you're an adult. It's your stuff to deal with, and it's my stuff to deal with what I have to do. So if it comes to a relationship between us, I do have expectations. And my expectation is for you to make yourself emotionally available while keeping all your stuff in check. But when I interact with you, although I understand that part of my role is to support you and part of your role is to support me, so we support each other, let us not forget that we need to bask in the attention of the other one. Right? So my expectation is for you to be here completely, physically, so that you first and foremost dedicate and prioritize our relationship, so that I feel that you put stuff on hold so that you do spend time with me, so that communicates importance. And emotionally as well, I want to feel that you're here when you're here, right? But here is, and this is where I put the parenthesis here, this is where the difference comes in, the huge difference comes in between giving away your power and maintaining your power. The difference is between asking and waiting for it to happen, which is a passive approach, and the other part is a consequence approach, right? So the passive approach is please do it, right? Please, it would be so important for me to do it. I ask you, and I almost beg of you for you to do it, right? That's the passive approach. The I keep my power to myself and I value myself approach is I understand that you might choose not to do that for whatever reason. I leave that reason with you. But should that happen, I am letting you know that there will be choices and consequences that come from me. And if you don't prize me, if you don't appreciate me, if you, for whatever reason, choose not to be in this relationship in the way I described, then I will pack my bags and leave. I will do things, maybe retreat from the relationship, maybe become open to alternatives. There will be consequences. Now, again, stepping back, it's not so important what those consequences are. Each circumstance, each relationship, each set of events and circumstances and things will be different, right? You guys know what you have in your life. But the major difference should be you make a plan with variations so that even though you can't predict the future, you're prepared for whatever comes. If variation A happens, you're prepared for that. If variation B happens, you're prepared for that too. And that comes with peace of mind. That comes with the idea that, okay, I'm prepared for everything. I take my stuff because I retain the power to take my stuff. And when I say take my stuff, what do I mean by that? Specifically in this particular circumstance with Amy, this was about making sure that she's not putting herself in a set of dynamics and circumstances in which she's not getting similar resources from the other partner, right? Because the idea is that in a relationship we want to have reciprocity, right? So I'm in it if you're in it as well, but I'm not going to beg for you to be in it. I'm going to tell you if I see repeatedly that you're not in it, I'm going to get out of it, right? So I'm going to win either way, right? I'm going to win because I stay here because you choose to be here as well and we can have a nice relationship together. Or I win because I won't let myself remain in a set of circumstances in which I don't feel appreciated, and then I'm going to be my own best company. If you can't handle me, if you can't do me, right? I can do me. I can stay with me. I can have things that I do for myself instead of waiting for you passively. So I hope you're getting the point, right? Another example was my second patient that I was telling you about. I'll call her Maria, again, not her real name, right? So she was telling me about how she was singing with a band, and she's been singing with them for quite a number of years, and she's vegan. And every time that they go to a concert, she puts out the request to the leader of the band that he makes sure that he should make sure that they have vegan stuff for her arranged in various places where they do they do their gig. And today she was again telling me the fact that after years of requests like these, they got into the place where they were doing the gig, and again there was no vegan food for her arranged. So it was clear that the importance of this was very negligible for the organizer and for the band leader. However, and this is where the change was, right? The difference between Amy, who is more in the beginning of the therapy, and Maria, who is more of a veteran in therapy. And this is the wonder of acupuncture. I had just performed a treatment for Maria so that she could actually feel her value, right? So that she could see herself as being worthy, right? Because rationally, there's going to be very few people who will literally think that they're not worthy of receiving stuff like this, like love, affection, small things like hey, I have some dietary requests that I would want to have respected and cared to. So it's not the rational part; it's the emotional part that is difficult to move, right? We might be very aware rationally that we do deserve, but it's difficult to truly embody this, right? It's like one of those favorite quotes of mine, a truth is not a truth until it lives in the body. That's exactly the case. So what I'd done, I had previously just done some treatments with Maria so that she would be more aware of who she is and what she's worth. So now, for the first time in years and years and years in playing with this band, she told me something along the lines of, enough is enough. I've tried to reason with them. I see that they keep neglecting my requests, which tells me that they, behave as if I'm not important, and I'm not going to stay in this. I'm considering leaving because this is unacceptable. So that's what it looks like. That's what taking back the power looks like. So now back to you guys, right? Homework for you. In what situations have you felt, or do you still feel, that you're asking people to care to one of your wishes or needs, and you're kind of passively waiting, praying that, something will change? How about it's time for you to take back your power, and instead of thinking, please, please, please do that, whatever that is, think in terms of, hey, you know what? I would like you to do that, but if you don't do that, I will do this. So you're fine, whatever the other person does, whatever that circumstance looks like and turns out to be, you're prepared no matter what. And that will give you peace of mind. And that will also give you a kind of a, let's say, positive internal feeling good, because you won't let yourself be, trampled upon. So again, implementation is the difficult part, and this is where acupuncture, especially the deep part, especially the emotional, or even better, the karmic part, can really, really help, because there are acupuncture channels which deal exactly with how we look, right? How we look at ourselves in the mirror, how we feel that we, belong to the environment, how we feel that we belong in this world. Do we feel that it's okay for us to be there? Do we feel accepted? Do we feel worthy of being accepted and integrated in society? And again, these are things that are subconscious. Acupuncture, through specific channels that have exactly these functions, is able to address that. And moreover, when it's combined with Chinese astrology, it can actually zoom in on the exact lesson that you need to learn pertaining to that particular thing, right? So for example, when it comes to self-image, we each have a particular lesson to learn. That is visible in your Chinese astrology chart, which we can translate into acupuncture. When it comes to how you blend or how you feel you belong to the environment that you happen to be in, again, that comes with a particular lesson, life lesson, right, psychological lesson that you need to learn. Again, that is visible in the Chinese astrological chart, and we can actually translate that into treatments. So I hope I've given you a new perspective. I hope I've incited you to think about how you can change the dynamics in your life. And if you like these videos, make sure you click subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.